Guys, my name is Zack, Esposito, assistant coach here at Oklahoma State. Been here for about 10 years now. Actually, it is 10th year. Originally from New Jersey, where I wrestled, and I wrestled at Blair Academy for high school, and then from there took off to Oklahoma. Been here ever since. Kind of found it as a new home. One of the techniques that I'm going to show today, kind of switching gears from our feet to a top position, was actually a technique on top that was developed a lot here at Oklahoma State. A lot during the '80s. Coach Smith wrote it a lot. We had a kid from Stillwater who came out, and his father used to coach here, and he started showing our Blair team this ride, and I rode it all through high school and rode it all through college, and ultimately, really to tell you the truth, it probably won me a national title, because at the end of my national title, I had about 20-something minutes riding time, now it's known, if you guys ever see a Blair wrestler or a guy like Kellen Russell from Michigan, it's a real popular ride, and it really was a cowboy ride, and now they're starting to call it the Blair ride back east. So it's so I got to get it back out here to show you guys. But a real good ride, and it really helped me develop my riding skills. You know, generally there's two types of ride: the guy's throwing legs on, or a guy's riding wrist. Okay, that's the great thing about top and bottom on your feet. There's so much different technique that kids can get confused about it. You know, but as a team, you know, you know what your ride is. I like that always. You know, depending on where a team is, you know, whether this team's a leg riding team or whether this team's a single wrist riding team or a tilt team, it's very important to I think, to develop a team as a certain ride that we have. Now at Oklahoma State, we have some guys that ride legs. Coleman Scott, when he came in, and he'll show most likely legs. He's from Pennsylvania. Legs are real popular in Pennsylvania. Even though I have a long and lanky build, I just never felt leg riding, but I did feel this kind of single wrist ride, and I took it along with me all the way through college, and it worked throughout all college, and you know I started showing it to little kids now, and they develop it, because once you're on top and you know where you want to get to, you get to it. It's like on your feet. If there's a certain tie I want to get to, my offense comes off of that tie, I keep going and going and going and get to it. So on top, you know, I'm looking for wrist. I'm looking for wrist. I'm looking for wrist. I'm looking for my ride. Once I get to my ride, I can get to any of my offense. So with Martin here, I picked him up. I feel bad for him because I'm going to be working on that shoulder a little bit today. Now, when I approach my opponent, I don't mind, you know, which way he's set up. I mean, if he has ankles tucked, I don't mind. If he has, you know, shoelace on the mat or toes tucked underneath, you know, go with feels comfortable for you. You know, I really don't mind what it is. I'm still going to go after what I want to approach. So when I line up on my opponent, I want to try and make sure that I start to put weight on his hands from the get-go. Okay, and that's what you should know for bottom wrestlers, that when I line up on bottom, I want a little weight on my hands. Unless I'm really hitting a switch or something, I make something. Most likely I want all my weight here, because the goal of the bottom position is to get my hips underneath and my back and chest up. Because if his back and chest are up here, his hips are up, it's very hard for me to hold him down. If I push him forward, he's going to stand up. If I step him back, he can knee slide and come up to his feet. So my goal on top is to put a lot of weight on those hands, okay? I don't mind if he tripods up. You know, that's why probably tripod stand-ups are so popular now, is because, you know, it's a lazy way of standing up. My goal is to keep all that weight on those hands. So, you know that from a bottom position. So with your athletes, you know, I want a little weight on my hands, so I can spring up. So now when I take an approach to my opponent, I might give a little shove when I get on top here. So when I line up, I take a little kind of movement here. You see, I slightly move him a little forward, okay? Something where the ref doesn't really see it, but I'm starting to shift his weight to his hands already, here. So when I line up, I come right on top of him, and I just make a slight adjustment so that the weight starts on his hands, okay? Now in college, we had to go belly button or elbow, or I don't even know if they're switching those rules. They switch them every year. But I like to go reverse grip, because I know what I'm doing is going right to a spiral ride, okay? The goal off the whistle is for me to beat this hand inside, and the goal for the bottom man is to get this hand to the inside. Okay, so I feel that I'm quicker rather from going from here, I'm faster going here where I could really shift quick. Okay, so when I line up on top, I get a little bit higher on him, kind of like a blanket. When I lean forward, I kind of lean on him with my chest right here, just to make that weight on his hands. I cover right here. Now I'm ready to go. If you look from on a backward angle here, okay, my feet are cocked and ready too. So when I come on top of him, it says top man on, I come on here, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to jump from here to here. Here to here. I'm just getting myself set, ready to go. Okay, just like a sprinter off the blocks. I'm ready to go right from there. So now the first thing is what I do is you go into a spiral breakdown, and what I'm trying to always do is try to chase that hand, chase that hand, chase that hand, get that wrist. Okay, so when I come on top here, I rest on top here, I got my hand here, I'm set, or the whistle blows, boom, I jump right up. Okay, right there I start putting them in the table-like position. Now, I keep this hand shallow here, short. I'm not a big claw guy. Okay, Coleman is a claw guy, and because he likes to rip a guy up and then go into legs, or guys are claw guys where they can pull in a crab ride. But what I'm trying to do is into the wrist. So I'm short. Almost my elbow's at my side right here. My hand is right underneath his armpit. And my hand is prying right on the inside of his thigh right here. Now the real important key also is that my chest is bolted to his back. Okay, if you're going to take like a bar and put it right through his chest, it would go right through the middle of my chest right here. And I'm strong here, right here. My weight's on top of him. I'm not sagging back here. I'm not too high over. I'm bolted right to his back right here. Okay, my toes are both in the side of the mat, so I got pushing power. Okay, and I'm right here riding. I'm tight. I'm moving him this way, here. Okay, so I'm twisting his body. Now when I start to twist his body and I start to feel that I can get to my wrist, I'm going to change sides here, put my knee right in front and block, and what I'm doing is I'm going to do like an inside chop and try to find that hand. So from here to here, and I'm going to try and sling him over. Now from there, I have that knee already on the inside, I cover right here. All right? Now, in this position, if you see that my knees are split. My one knee's in front of his knee here, my other knee's out here, and my toes are pushing in here so I can keep pressure on his back. All right? The other thing is what guys make problems with is they grab the wrist. I'm really grabbing the hand here. A good marker that I find, that if I find myself sliding up too high, is if my ring finger, you'll feel this bone right on your hand right here. I don't want to get past my ring finger on that. If I start finding my middle finger or my index finger on that, I'm on the wrist. So I always stay down here. That's why my pinky finger might be on that bone or that ring finger might be on it. But anything past that is too far. Because what he can do is roll me out. If I'm down here and he tries to roll me out, I'm able to break him and pull it out to his back. Okay, so again, from my starting position, I'm here on top. My feet are set. I'm on top of him. When I start on top of him, I lean forward a little bit, get that weight on his hands. I want him to feel like he can't stand up right from the get-go. And I'm going to beat that explosion. From here, whistle blows, boom, I'm jumped up here. I got an angle on him. My elbow's kind of cocked at my hip right here. My arm's right underneath his armpit. I'm heavy on him right here. I'm bolted into his chest right here. And I'm starting to move him. Okay, if this guy is trying to move me to the knee side, I'm staying with him. Now, this I feel I got him. He's knee slide and I turn my hip, I'm going to do what's like an inside chop. I'm going to chop and find that wrist, I'm going to throw his body across me. Boom! And now I cover. This is the important thing. My hips close. I'm almost sitting right on top of his arm, right on top of his elbow. If you could see from underneath, I'm literally pulling his wrist to his armpit. Right here. There's no room for him to get out. Okay? So I'm right here, right on top of him. If you notice, my hand is straight. I almost have my wrist in his armpit right here. All right? I'm not down here. Okay? And this is the trouble that a couple of our wrestlers get into. They stay down here. I stay up high. This is my ride right here. And as I stay high, I'm yanking and pulling his wrist into his armpit. So it's locked in there. Okay? Back over here. So again,
I spiral ride, boom, I'm up here, I'm moving, bang. Up here, covered. And that's the key. I'm crowding him. I'm jumping up high on him. Almost that my head is up high. My wrist is up high here. I'm glued to my chest right here. I'm pulling his hand up. Okay, now what am I doing on my other side? You got to understand what guys' defenses are from here on bottom. Okay, and you see it all. Once you start riding, guys have to pick up, oh, you got a good single wrist, so what can we do? One of the basics ones of what he does is he'll try and take this hand and literally reach underneath and try and peel my hand off. Okay, so that's why as soon as I jump, I grab my hand and I post it out here. Okay, now I'm trying to keep his hand away. Trying to keep his hand away here. All right, I'm staying on top trying to keep his hand away. The second thing guys will try and do is take their hand and shove it through their legs and turn their hand. Okay, they'll be here, they'll shove their hand through their legs so it breaks my lock. That's why also I have this knee in here, but his hand, I have his hand pinched against my thigh, so now he can't get underneath it. That's why I have to stay high. The further I am back, the easier it is to get it across. So here, right up here, here's my ride, right here. This is where my starting position is. From here I could go to all my turns, okay? So my wrist is in tight, my wrist is kind of right in that armpit, and I'm cranking on him right here, okay? He could tell you that I'm starting to roll over him, and I'm pushing in with my toes. You can hear my feet on the mat pushing here, and I got him, okay? I got him in a position where I could run to the butt, or I could take him out and tilt him and do other moves. So kind of first move to show, you know, if you catch a kid right off the bat, and you probably pin a lot of guys in high school with this, and really tell you the truth, I pinned one guy in college with it. Probably my first match actually in Gallagher. I was losing, I came back, tilt the guy up, the guy tried to hit a Grammy roll out of half of him. So from this ride, I'm up here in a spiral, I start moving him here. I want to start moving him. Okay, I want that weight on his hands. I turn my knee on the inside, and I almost bring my head to that hand. I look for it, and I crawl up here. Now, some guys might look to Granby. If they do, they put themselves right in their bad position. They turn their head, they try to Granby or roll out of there. I half them and pin them. Now, if you're really strong here, and you might, like I said, get into college or high school, go right for my half, and I'm going to just drive him right over his head and jump sides and pin him. So here, spiral move, break him down, get on top. Find my hand, crawling up it. He's got his head turned perfect. That's even easier. Okay, if he's not smart, and he feels this, I've had guys do this. Feel vulnerable, and they think they could grab me out, roll, and pin them right there. Okay, so that's kind of my first option right off of there. Is guys look to Granby, half, bring them over their head. But this is the position. I got to learn this position right here. This is my ride position. Knees underneath. I'm kind of splitting his knees apart. As you can see, my feet are wide, and my toes are on the inside here. Okay, so now I can push off of them. Knees are wide, and I have them caught right underneath me. Okay, right underneath my crotch. I have them locked in right here. All right, so when I take this hold, I'm locked in right underneath here. All right, right here. And like I said, the first one I could look at half. Next one, he Granby's out. I could roll him. Now, another important key is keeping this hand attached to my thigh. When this hand's attached to my thigh, I can bring the leg out a lot easier, and I can go to tilt a lot easier. Okay, prefer to where if it's off the thigh, and you end up in this position a lot. The guy's on his hip, and I'm in this position a lot. Okay, I'm trying to avoid all that right now. And I'll get into some technique where if it does get caught underneath of what I'm trying to do. So I'm here, I get him a spiral ride, I'm moving, can't crash, climbing up, right here. Hands attached to the thigh. First turn from here, and it's It might seem advanced, but it's not too bad. And the thing is the reason why I like to keep his arm caught underneath is that the ref can't really see how much pressure I'm putting on his shoulder. If you know what I mean. Okay? He can't see me really torquing him. Okay? That's why I keep myself spread. There's no way the ref can see this underneath there. Okay? That's why sometimes they'll be like, they're trying to look around, look at that hand. And you know what? You know, wrestling's not a tickling contest. It hurts like a mother when a guy gets 2 legs in on you. So why not let's crank on his shoulders a little bit. So when I'm down here, I'm really pressuring him. If you see, I'm leaning over the top of him here. And Marvin can tell you underneath, it doesn't feel that good. Okay? So I'm literally cranking over the top of him here. And I like to keep that hand right on the inside. Now the first turn of what I'm going to do is, and when you do this with a partner drilling, you better go slow. Because I've seen some people get their shoulders ripped off because of this. And we started showing to some of our guys last year, and they almost go too slow, or and the ref stop it because they start to see their shoulder going out. All I'm going to do is I'll dip my hand out. As I dip my hand out, it's pulling his arm out, and I fall to the side right into my tilt. You all right? Now we had Chris Perry trying to do it a lot last year, and he just couldn't commit to the fall. He's like, I like it, but I'm going to my back, so I'm going back. You know, I'm going, I got it, but I want to go back. You know, this is just, I fall right over the top of his head, okay? What I'm saying is that I don't want you to start to take it out, feel this. You know, don't go over yet. Go to your knees. You take it out. Here, we start falling. No, I don't like that, I gotta get back. Okay, I'm gonna go right over the top of his head. And as I'm going, my knee is coming up. Right over here. Right here, ring and doorbell. Right here, I get my tilt, my back points. All right? Yeah. So again, I'm in that spinal position. I'm moving, find the wrist, get up there. You see I'm pushing. Right here. What comes out, I turn. I get them locked right in here. All right? Get my points. And I can look to even come on top of them to try and get my pin. Okay. Now I remember my freshman year, the guy cement makes me, I was down 5-0. First match, college, in Gallagher. Always heard the story about Pat Smith, got beat his first match out in Gallagher. I think he got pinned, right? Pinned or something. Ended up winning the national title that year. I go out there, I'm down 5-0 right off the bat. I end up getting a takedown. I get right to this wrist here. I go right into my turn here. I drop, I get back points. And for some reason, this goofy kid wanted a bridge, and then kind of go into a Granby roll. Here, just get back to your belly. He got back to his belly here and tried to Granby over, and I pinned him right there.
When you
Yeah.
went down for that roll, when you're trying your half and your Granby, you're keeping it caught right in here.
Right on the inside of my thigh right
When
here.
you go for your roll over the head, you take it out.
Just like this. I actually keep it on my thigh the whole
The whole
time.
time?
So as I'm rolling, I keep it on, and I kind of pull it off right at the end. Okay, so kind of where my knee goes is where that hand's going. So when I'm down here, if you can see maybe from this angle here, I'm in my ride right here. I roll out here. See how my wrist is on it? His hand's on my inner thigh. So now when I go, I drop my left hip to the mat, I pull it out, and I come right on top of him. So now the ref doesn't see any of it. And I'm on top of here. Okay, right here is my tilt. And any of you guys, older guys that are around, Fergie, you've seen Coach Smith do this a ton. You see a lot of these guys do it a ton back then. And like I said, our high school adapted it hard. And, you know, some guys that were All-Americans, national champs, this is all we did. We got a lot of riding time, we got a lot of back points, and won matches because of it. That's why it's so important for a top position. It's so much easier to teach too. You know, either your team's riding wrists or they're riding legs. Okay, this is one option. this is what our team in high school adapted to. You know, in college here, they come from different spots. Like I said, Coleman was a leg rider. I was always a wrist rider. And it just so happened, I'm glad that Coach Smith was a wrist rider, because I wasn't ready to ride legs. So it's real easy. It's either one or the other, unless you know how to do a crab ride a lot. But it's one or the other. And that's what's great about it. On your feet, there's 20 million different moves. On top, either your offense comes off of legs or wrist. You know, and that's why it's great, because you say, you know, every time I got on top, all I knew is that I had to get to my wrist and get to my ride, and my offense could come off of it. You know, it's like if I was on my feet. I'm an elbow guy. I just got to find my elbow. I got to find my elbow. If I find my elbow, I got my offense. So on top, I'm like, I just got to get that wrist. I got to find that wrist no matter what. Somehow I got to find that wrist. So that's all I was chasing. And right from the beginning, I'm here moving, and he's trying to do something. I'm trying to look for that wrist, or that hand. Here, move them off, and I'm in my ride. Now I got him. I got my ride. All right? I could go into my offense from here. So that first one I showed of a half, that was also a good one. 2 is my tilt right off the bat. But ultimately what we want to try and do is turn him down so that I could get his hand to his back. Okay? So right here, as I'm riding him here, I reach back to this kind of butt right here, and I reach deep in it. I don't just get my thumb in there. I get my whole elbow in there. And that's why this knee is so important. Because as soon as I pull my knee out, the hand comes with it, I circle him down. And I'm on top of him. Now, did that look painful for a ref, or are you guys seeing it? No? Ask Martin, though. He'll tell you. It does not feel good. You know? So, that's why it's important to keep my hips closed on them. So I get back into my ride here, you know, right here. I'm on top of them. Another little kind of thing I could share with you guys is a couple guys will be like, I can't keep his arm bent, okay? I don't just use my arms when I wrestle. I use my whole body. So if I start to feel like this guy's really reaching down and I can't hold it, or this guy's really kind of maybe beat me, he's reaching it, I'll even pitch his hand, his arm, and his forearm together. Now I can start to work it, and I feel like I'm a little trapped. Now I can start to spread it again. Okay? You'll start to see some guys that put a wrist up here when they ride. I don't like that, preferably just because refs stop it. They'll be down here on the mat, and they'll bring this elbow up to the hip here, start running them. And I just think refs get a little too worried about it. So when I'm down here, if I start feeling like this, I'm losing my wrist, I'll pinch it and try and readjust, climb up that hand. Now I can spread it back. Keep that hand glued to my hip, come to the butt, pull my leg out like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. Rip this body down here, right here. Now I can flatten him out, right here on his back. And now I can go to work. Okay, first move from here, you'll see a lot of our guys, actually Jamal Parks did a lot last year, and he got away from it towards the end of the year. I'm going to reach here, I'll put my knee right on top of his elbow, I'm going to grab right underneath his shoulder right here, step up, and I tilt him right to the side right here. Okay? Now, guys start to bridge into me, kick out his bottom foot, come on top. Looking for the pin right there. So again, I got my spot right here, I crack him, I get on top, maybe I don't feel that pinch, I get up there, here, hard, right here. Now as I put my pressure to turn, I'm cranking my shoulder over too. Here, rip out that bottom leg here, and he falls right there. Arms on the back, right here. Going right to that inside, right to his shoulder right here. Putting my knee right on that elbow, driving him up and over his shoulder, and getting my back points here. He bridges into me, kick his bottom leg out, finish it on top. Getting the pin.
Will you turn this way when you kick that bottom leg out?
What's that?
Turn this way
Yeah.
so you kick the bottom leg out.
So that arm Now that inside knee, that's why that inside knee is really important, because if this inside knee's out and I'm trying to pull him down, he'll drop down right to his hip. Now I gotta deal with this battle. Okay, so keep that inside knee in. Okay, have it glued. When I come out, it's on my knee. Here.